Good morning and welcome to the Davis County Community Spotlight Podcast. Hello, my name is Kristen Sherlock. I am your host, and we are here located at the Davis Catalyst Center in Kaysville, Utah, with our student team of Cody and Colin and our new member, Addison, who has recently joined our team. And I'm so excited to work here today, or to bring to you today, our fun new podcast interviewer, who I think you're going to really like what she has to offer. This is Amberly Lambertsen of Davis County Dates. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here.
I'm so excited to be here, to have you be here. I mean, I'm always here, but
I'm excited to be here with you.
And this Catalyst Center, what do you think of this so far?
I love it. I love it. I've only ever done podcasts before, like virtually, so it's kind of fun to do the face-to-face.
I know. It's a little different, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we're going to just have a conversation, and we're going to have our listeners be the third wheel here.
Love it.
Part of our conversation. So Davis County is not new for you.
No.
You are born and raised, well, you're raised here.
Yeah.
And tell me about that.
Yeah, so I moved here right before 5th grade, and kind of for my date night partner, I'll tell you, my husband moved here when he was 4, 5-ish. I don't want to say that wrong, but when he was young. And we've been raised here, both of us, ever since. We both grew up in Centerville. I did take a jaunt to Idaho for 15 months to go to cosmetology school. Mm-hmm. And my husband spent 2 years in Mexico. Mm-hmm. But ever since, we have lived, worked, and played in Davis County.
Woo woo.
Yeah.
So you clearly love it if you want to stay here.
Yes, we do love it. We don't ever plan to leave. So
hey, that's a good testimonial. What are some of the things that you love about Davis County and about Utah?
Well, I think being raised here, you kind of know everyone, right?
Yeah.
Like you say it's a small world, like it's a small Davis County. And I feel like I know so many people who were raised here and have chosen to live and raise their families here and work here like us. And so I kind of joke, like, if you go to the soccer fields, it's a mini high school reunion. You go anywhere, it's a mini high school reunion. But I just love it's a big county. But I love the community feel, mm-hmm. and I just love the people. I love the views in Davis County, but I also love that it does have, like, it is a big place and there's lots mm-hmm. of people here, but it does have that small community feel.
It really does feel like that. And you get to know everyone pretty quickly, I feel like.
Yes, definitely. And everyone knows everyone.
Right. Good or bad.
Yes.
So you've lived here practically your whole life, and you've chosen to raise your family here. What mm-hmm. are some of the things that you like to do with your family? I'm talking like the whole family.
Oh, we love exploring. Right now I'm taking my kids on like monthly dates, and so we're just trying new things. We love to drive up in the canyons and drive around and see the lights and mm-hmm. just be in Davis County. We love to go out to eat in Davis County. Just all the things, kind of, play, see, dine, all the things in Davis County.
It has a lot to offer that you don't really have to leave, don't
you
think?
Yes, and that's what I love. You don't have to go far to find something fun and unique.
Which probably leads us into your project, Davis County Dates, right?
Yes.
Tell me, how that got started.
Yeah, so I was thinking about this morning a little bit more in detail, that it's kind of a threefold project for
mm-hmm.
me. I felt like I was seeing so many fun things, and I still see so many fun things happening in Utah County and Salt Lake County and mm-hmm. all around Utah. And I was like, well, we're just boring. But I knew that there was stuff there. And I kind of joke, growing up, I grew up in Centerville, my husband grew up in Centerville, and we talk all the time about how obviously things have changed. Costco in that area wasn't there and Walmart wasn't there, but we
Station Park didn't exist.
Yes, Station Park didn't exist yet. But we kind of Centerville, you'd go to Bountiful, or you'd get on the freeway and drive to Layton, mm-hmm. the mall area, and then go back. We didn't really explore anywhere in between. Mm-hmm. And now we live in Farmington, and we're closer to Kaysville, and I make all these things that I didn't know exist. I went to the Kaysville Theater for the first, well, that's a lie. I think I went to the Kaysville Theater for a movie in elementary school.
Okay.
But I really
went
to
field trip.
Yeah, I went to the Kaysville Theater for the first time with my daughter a couple weeks ago. And other people are like, "Oh, I've grown up going there all the time," and things that I've missed out on. And so I knew there were things in Davis County that were fun and unique to Davis County, just like there is in Utah County and Salt Lake County. and it just wasn't being showcased.
We don't talk about it.
Yes. And so it was kind of my goal to find those things for myself, but to find those things for others and then to share them. And the reason it became a date night thing is I got my undergraduate degree in family studies, and that's kind of where I was at when I started Davis County Dates. I was a year out from my program, I believe, and I was like, oh, I can put this fun date night spin on it and have a relationship aspect to it, because that's what I love.
So let's touch on that a little bit about your education background, and tell me about the importance of what you bring with the family studies.
Yeah, so the family studies, and I'm a certified family life educator, and I've chosen to focus a lot of my stuff on marriage and romantic relationships. I run a website for marriage as well, but the date night thing and connecting and having fun together is such an important part of keeping a relationship strong that I feel like we get so caught up in parenting together or running a business together or managing a household together, the finances, the kind of mundane, not so fun adult stuff.
I think everyone listening is like, oh, I can feel that.
Yeah, so the having fun together. So it kind of combined with, here's what's fun to do in Davis County. And it's not going to take you long to get there because it's right in your own backyard. I had never been to Antelope Island until, I started Davis County Dates. And now I've been a couple times. And so exploring the area that's here, and we kind of talked before, supporting local. And those who, I've chosen to live, work, and play in Davis County. My husband works in Davis County. Supporting that local and just seeing what's here and showing the rest of Utah that we're fun too.
We are fun too.
Yes.
You don't have to drive through Davis County to get to Salt Lake or get up to Ogden, that there's lots to do here.
Yeah. Don't pass us by.
Don't pass us by. And as we were chatting earlier, I was talking with Amberly about the vision behind this podcast, about supporting our local businesses and supporting and working with our neighbors and keeping our money local in the local economy. And when she was talking to me about this idea, I'm like, oh, we have to have her on this podcast because our visions are very aligned with Go Davis County.
Yes.
So then let's talk about Davis County Dates. Tell me about the website. Tell me about what I can find on there.
Yeah, so I have a website, a Facebook, and an Instagram.
Okay.
And they kind of all work together. So
Are they under all the same name?
Yes, DavisCountyDates.com. I'm at Davis County Dates on Facebook and Instagram, so it's easy to remember. And they kind of all work together and share similar stuff, but in different ways. The most popular page on my website is a calendar of events, and so I try to go through monthly and update, shows that are happening and free concerts and activities, things that maybe you wouldn't think are
cooking classes at
Harmon's.
Cooking
classes at
I saw
Harmon's.
that on there.
All the things that you wouldn't think are there to do for date night, and I throw them on there. And it's the most popular page on my website. But I also have standalone date ideas. So this week I'm posting one about my son and I went on a date to Arcade and Pizza. And it's a place that's been in Davis County for 5 years.
And where are they located?
It's Louie's Pizzeria on Main Street in Layton.
Okay.
And I overheard a conversation while I was there that they've been there for 5 years. They recently opened the arcade piece, I think. I could be wrong. I'm still doing that research to put that post together. But I overheard a conversation, and they were saying, well, we heard about you on a Facebook group recently. And I've seen them popping up on a Facebook group recently. And so people are starting to know about these places. And so I share things like that as a date. Go to this place, play arcade games, and have pizza.
What child would not want to do that?
It was so fun. My son is still talking about it. But then ideas like one I was thinking about today, I have an idea of going axe throwing and barbecue food. I feel like those go hand in hand, right? Take it a step further and wear a plaid. I don't know. I don't wear plaid, but it could be fun. And then I share, here's a couple axe throwing places in Davis County. They're run locally. Here's a few barbecue places in Davis County that are run locally. But I also have posts that are more of a roundup, like where to get the best hot chocolate in Davis County. And here's a fun way you can incorporate hot chocolate into your date night. Or here's 5 things to do for date night in the winter when you don't want to go out and be cold, but you want to still support. So
I think that's a
things
great
like
idea.
that.
Great suggestions. And you test and try a lot of these places out yourself.
Yes. And if I haven't tested and tried them, they are highly recommended and they're on my list to do. And so I will note that, like, here's an idea. I haven't done this yet, but it's something I want to do. And here's what I would do if I did it. And then if I go do it, I come back and write about it and update that post to share, here's our experience.
Fantastic. What have been some of the comments or feedback that you received from people as they go through your Instagram or your Facebook page or your website?
I always hear like, oh, I didn't know this was an option. I've never heard about this. Or, yeah, we love this place too. Or I run into people in public, and it's fun because they'll be like, are you Davis County Dates? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, thanks for all your ideas. So it's just fun to get, I mean, I like ideas from other people too, to get things that maybe you didn't know about or you didn't think about, or you're like, date night, we go to the same restaurant every time. Maybe we just want to try a different restaurant.
Because sometimes the same old is just,
yeah.
You want to do something new.
Don't know it's there, or you've driven past it 5 times and made a mental note but aren't thinking about it in the moment. And so, oh yeah, we wanted to do that. I'm going to add that to my list.
So you take the guesswork out of planning dates. You make it so easy that any husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend can be able to say, hey, I've got a great thing planned. And they didn't even have to plan it all.
Yes. And it's funny, my brother-in-law, when he was dating his now wife, he was like, I used your website again for date night. Like, thanks for planning my date for me. I don't know all the things he did, but he would check, the calendar. He would look at the ideas I had on the website. And I don't think he even referenced the social media, but just using the website.
And he looked like a champ.
Right. Hey, he got married. No, I'm just kidding. I won't take credit for that.
So what are your goals then with this?
I just want to continue to introduce people to things. My goal, I want to try more things myself.
Okay.
I mentioned, I tried this pizza and arcade place for the first time, and I went to Kaysville Theater for the first time and experienced that, and we want to go back. And my kids both said, like, can we come back here, or can we bring Dad, or I want to come just with Dad, or take my other sibling on the same date. So this month we're swapping. So the one that did the movie date is going to do the arcade date this time, and because they're like, they would love it too. But things like I share, go to community theater. Here's what's playing. I'll admit, I love theater and musicals and show tunes.
So Centerpoint?
I've only ever been to Centerpoint. I used to be a Centerpoint Rogers Memorial, like clear back when it was Rogers Memorial. I don't know if you remember that. I was a season ticket holder, but I haven't been to On Pitch Performing Arts or to Hope Box because I didn't know about that.
We have a lot of pop-up new theaters here.
Yeah, and I think they've been there for a while that I just didn't know about them, but I haven't been. And so I have a show from each of them picked out this year that I'm going to go try every single one.
And I would argue to say that some of these organizations also make our school programs even more fulfilling because, Davis High has a fantastic theater program.
Yes. Right? And just the ways they support the community and the ways they, Hope Box supports families and individuals in the community who are experiencing cancer. And they use some of their profits to support those families and sponsor a family. And On Pitch Performing Arts has their school that they can come through, and lots of families participate together on Pitch Performing Arts. And so I think seeing what all those different unique places have to bring to the community, and that there can be 3 community theaters, and they can all put on great things, and they all have a different purpose, and we can support them all.
And we have a big enough population that we can do that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That we can be able to handle all of that.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite date that you've done?
It's so hard because it kind of depends.
I don't want to, single any one business out, but anything that you've particularly enjoyed doing, either with your spouse or with your children.
My usual go-to is dinner and theater. Okay. That's my go-to, but I love going to the movies or trying new restaurants, or I love the dates that I just went on with my kids. It's usually my most recent date is my favorite.
Okay. Like the arcade and pizza.
Arcade and pizza, it's hard to pick a favorite. Like you said, I don't want to single one out, but also I kind of love them all. And I think they all have a different place. Like sometimes I go do the free stuff. Like we pack a picnic and go to a free summer concert in the park. Or sometimes we want to splurge and we go out to dinner and get the front row seats at the theater, you know. So it just kind of depends.
A little bit of everything.
Yes.
How can the community support you? How can Davis County help Davis Date Nights?
So just following along and trying the ideas that we share. And I actually also just started a Facebook page for the community. We talked about creating community that's Davis County Living. And I think that's how we kind of connected a little bit in one of those Facebook groups.
Yeah.
To share more stuff like this that isn't so date night focused, but sharing the good that's here in Davis County and creating that community with others. And sharing things like, where can I go get my oil changed? Or where, you know, what's your favorite trail to hike in the winter? Or what's fun to do outside? Where's the best sledding hill? Like, we always go here. Is there somewhere else we should go? Those are kind of the things that have been talked about recently. But just sharing the content that we have and supporting and trying something new. And kind of like we said.
Making memories.
Yeah, making memories and just having a good time together. So,
because isn't that living? To be able to
Yes.
create experiences and to create those memories and things that you fondly look back on.
yeah. And I think increasing your love of Davis County. That's kind of, and that's
Why
what,
we're here.
yep. And that's what Davis County Dates has done for me. Like I said, it was a project for me and for the community that it's shown me what's here. I mean, like I said, I work in Davis County and I see a lot that way. But I live in Davis County and I play in Davis County. And we do occasionally go outside of Davis County. And I share worth the trip is what I call them, dates on the website. That this was fun too, and it's still supporting local in
I like
Utah.
that.
But we do a lot here in Davis County.
And I know that a lot of the cities, from a planning commission standpoint, we're trying to make it so that you can live and work and play within the cities. I know we don't like growth here in Utah because we want to keep everything that small town feel. But we also want our children and grandchildren to eventually live here with us too, right? Davis County is pretty well built out, so don't worry, there's not going to be a ton of growth here. But we want to be able to do all of these things and not have to travel out of the community.
Yeah.
And so you are providing a great resource for all of us here so we can stay in our community, not have to get in the cars, not have to travel very far.
Yeah.
To be able to do really fun things.
Yeah.
So I think this is such a great resource. So for people to be able to reach you, how do we
Yes.
want them to be able to follow you?
So again, Instagram and Facebook, it's Davis County Dates is my handle. And then the website is daviscountydates.com.
Davis County Dates is the handle for Instagram, daviscountydates.com.
Yep.
And you also have a presence on Facebook.
Yes, at Davis
And-
County Dates again.
And Davis County Dates.
And the Davis County Living group, too, if you want to expand beyond
Okay.
date night.
Do you want to touch on that, Davis County Living?
Yeah, it's kind of new, so it's not as active as some Facebook
It's in
groups.
infancy.
Yes, but my hope is that it's just a positive place where you can share your experiences and request feedback and recommendations and create community with those that are also living, working, playing here in Davis County.
I like that. And where can we find that?
I believe they handle on Instagram or on Facebook if you search Davis County Living, and I think it's facebook.com/groups/Davis County Living.
Okay. Anything else that you want to leave us with? Any parting words of wisdom?
Just that I love Davis County. I love that we're doing this here at the Davis Catalyst Center. I said I wish they had this in high school
I
for
know.
people like me, like to try new things. And I think Davis County has so many fun things to offer
Yeah.
that there's always something new. I'm always learning something new, even though I've been here and
Your whole life.
my whole life, basically. So,
Yeah. And you're still rediscovering it and loving it.
yes, there's always something new to discover here. So.
I like that. Let's end on that. There's always something new to discover here.
Yes.
Way to go, Davis County. Thank you, Amberly Lambertsen, for Davis County Days for coming in.
Thank you for having me, Kristen. It was fun.
I've enjoyed this. And thank you, listeners, for following along with our podcast here out of the school at the Davis Catalyst Center in Kaysville. We just really appreciate your support by following. So please like, subscribe, please share. We're still so new in our infancy as well. So share our podcast. Help these students with their resume, build their resume up with showcasing all the stuff that they're doing to produce and create our podcast. And on that note, have a great day. Thanks, everyone. Bye.